Here we are again, Meghan Markle, ladies and gentlemen, caught in yet another firestorm. And this time, it's not just the tabloids or random gossip. No, this time, her own father Thomas Markle, is throwing down some heavy accusations. Accusations that, if true, could crack the already fragile facade she's worked so hard to maintain. Let's talk about misappropriation of charity funds star. Yeah, you heard that right. The Duchess of Sussex, who loves to parade her philanthropic image, is now being accused of diverting donation money meant for good causes, to fuel her lavish lifestyle. Opulent. Excessive. Completely out of touch. And let's not forget, this isn't just a petty spat between family members. Thomas Markle is claiming Meghan betrayed public trust, and that's a big deal. Because when you're out here shaking hands, giving speeches, and preaching about humanitarian work, the last thing you want is for people to think you're pocketing their donations. But guess what? According to Thomas, that's exactly what she's done. Now, let's get one thing straight. These allegations didn't just appear out of thin air. Insiders, those so-called anonymous sources who seem to have endless access to the Sussexes' private dealings, have been whispering about this for a while. They've suggested that Meghan and Harry's Sussex Royal Foundation wasn't all it was cracked up to be. Oh, they talked a good game, sure. They had the glossy PR campaigns, the emotionally charged Instagram posts, the press coverage. But when you dig a little deeper, the numbers, allegedly, don't add up. We're talking about donations, money given by people who believed in the causes Meghan championed, being redirected. Not to the charities they were meant for, but, allegedly, to fund some high-end shopping sprees, private jet trips, and real estate acquisitions. And let's not forget the luxury fashion items. How many designer outfits does one person need? Thomas Markle isn't holding back, either. He's out here saying Meghan has consistently chosen wealth and fame over true philanthropy. Think about that for a second. Her own father is accusing her of exploiting her royal connections, using them as a tool to rake in donations, only to turn around and spend them on herself. And while we're at it, let's not pretend this is the first time she's been accused of prioritizing her image over everything else. You remember the narrative, don't you? Meghan, the victim. Meghan, the misunderstood, selfless advocate for change. But how selfless can you really be when you're jetting off to exclusive events on private planes, wearing outfits that cost more than most people's annual salaries, all while preaching about climate change and equality? And here's the kicker. Financial analysts, actual professionals, have flagged the Sussex Royal Foundation for its lack of transparency. That's not just a casual observation, folks. That's a red flag. When you're running a charitable organization, every penny is supposed to be accounted for. Every expense, every donation, every project, it's all supposed to be crystal clear. But in the case of the Sussexes, there are apparently more questions than answers. Let's not forget the foundation was shut down.
Why?
They claimed it was because they were restructuring after stepping back from royal duties. But come on. Shutting down a foundation entirely? That's a major move. And now, with these allegations coming to light, it's hard not to wonder if there's more to the story. Critics are having a field day with this. They're pointing out how Meghan's actions, if true, fit a pattern. A pattern of self-interest disguised as advocacy. A pattern of using her position to gain wealth and influence. And let's not ignore the timing of all this. Meghan and Harry stepped back from royal duties, citing mental health and media pressures. But let's call a spade a spade. Wasn't it also about financial independence? About cutting ties with the royal family so they could cash in on their newfound global fame? And cash in they did. Those Netflix and Spotify deals weren't small potatoes. We're talking about millions of dollars for telling their story, for producing content, for preaching their brand of authenticity. But here's the problem with building an empire on the backs of public sympathy and donations. People start asking questions. They start scrutinizing. And when things don't add up, well, the house of cards starts to crumble. Now, Meghan and Harry have, of course, denied any wrongdoing. They've called the allegations baseless, unfounded, ridiculous. But here's the thing, when you're in the public eye, especially when you're a self-proclaimed advocate for transparency and integrity, denials aren't enough. People want proof. They want answers. They want accountability. And let's be honest, Meghan's track record doesn't exactly inspire confidence. From severing ties with her own family to the constant controversies surrounding her media deals, it's hard to ignore the pattern. And that's what critics are latching onto. The idea that this isn't just a one-time thing. That it's part of a larger narrative of strategic self-promotion. Even royal experts are chiming in now, suggesting this latest controversy could be the final nail in the coffin for Meghan's already contentious public image. And really, how much more can her reputation take? It's been one hit after another: family feuds, tell-all interviews, PR disasters. And now, accusations of financial impropriety? It's not a good look. But here's the kicker. Whether or not these allegations are true, the damage is already done. The fact that people are even willing to entertain the idea that Meghan could misuse charity funds says a lot about how far her image has fallen. Once upon a time, she was seen as a breath of fresh air, a modern royal who was going to shake things up. But now? She's become a lightning rod for criticism, a symbol of everything people dislike about celebrity culture disguised as philanthropy. And let's not forget the real victims here. If these allegations are true, it's not just Meghan's reputation on the line. It's the charities, the causes, the people who actually needed that money. People who believed in her, who trusted her to do the right thing. And if that trust has been betrayed, it's not something you can easily come back from. So, what happens next? Do we get a carefully worded statement from the Sussexes? A PR spin about how they're victims of yet another smear campaign? Or do we actually see some accountability? Some real answers? Because at this point, people are tired. Tired of the excuses, the denials, the constant drama. If Meghan really wants to prove she's the person she claims to be, she's going to have to do more than just talk. She's going to have to show it. With actions, not words. With transparency, not carefully curated Instagram posts. Because right now, the court of public opinion isn't on her side. And if she doesn't turn things around soon, it's only going to get worse. And let's not kid ourselves, this isn't just about Meghan. It's about Harry, too. He's just as much a part of this as she is. He stood by her decision to step back from royal duties, to pursue financial independence, to launch these charitable initiatives. So, if there's any truth to these allegations, he's got some explaining to do as well.